The bond between twins is often exceptionally strong and unique. Sharing the womb to experiencing life stages simultaneously, twins develop a deep intrinsic connection. They often understand each other intuitively, sometimes even feeling each other's emotions or pain. This bond can lead to a sense of completeness when they are together and a profound sense of loss or emptiness when apart. Their shared experiences and memories create a powerful sense of unity and mutual support. This connection is more than just familial. It's a profound and unspoken understanding that shapes their identities and relationships throughout their lives. Hello, aloha, bonjour, hola, hello, hujambo, marhaba, ni hao, namaste, everyone. Welcome to Crime Watch Vault. Today we will be talking about Han twins. Now let's get into the story. Jeen and Sunny Han, born in 1974 to Korean immigrant parents in Southern California, were identical twins whose lives took dramatically different paths. Their parents, who had emigrated from South Korea, were dedicated to achieving the American dream, a pursuit that involved significant sacrifices and high expectations for their daughters. This ambition often translated into intense pressure on the twins to excel academically and professionally. Sunny, the more academically inclined, thrived under this pressure, consistently achieving high grades and later securing a stable, well-paying job. Jeen, on the other hand, struggled to meet these expectations, feeling constantly overshadowed by her sister's success. This disparity in achievements created a rift between the sisters. Jeen's struggles were compounded by feelings of inadequacy and resentment, which festered over the years. Their parents' high expectations and strict upbringing only intensified these feelings, creating a volatile emotional environment. While Sunny was celebrated for her accomplishments, Jeen felt neglected and undervalued, fostering deep-seated jealousy and animosity. This tension between the sisters continued into their adulthood, exacerbated by their diverging life trajectories. By the mid-1990s, Jeen's life had become increasingly unstable. She faced financial difficulties, was unable to find steady employment, and was burdened by mounting debt. In contrast, Sunny's life seemed almost perfect. She had a stable job, financial security, and a promising future. Jeen's resentment grew as she compared her struggles with Sunny's apparent success. Desperation drove her to conceive a drastic plan to address her financial woes and, symbolically, to reclaim some sense of control and equality in her life. Jeen decided that kidnapping Sunny and extorting money from her was the solution. She believed that forcing Sunny to hand over money would not only alleviate her financial problems, but also address the deep-seated feelings of inferiority and resentment that had plagued her for years. To execute this plan, Jeen needed assistance. She turned to two acquaintances, Archie, Bryant, and Sayarath, who were also experiencing financial difficulties. Jeen presented the scheme as a quick and foolproof way to make money, promising them a share of the ransom. Bryant and Sayarath, motivated by their own financial desperation and swayed by Jeen's confidence, agreed to participate. Jeen meticulously planned the kidnapping. She conducted surveillance on Sunny's apartment to determine the best time to strike, ensuring they could carry out the abduction without immediate detection. She procured the necessary tools for the operation, including duct tape, handcuffs, and a stun gun. Jeen also rehearsed the plan with Bryant and Sayarath, walking them through each step to ensure everyone knew their roles and responsibilities. The plan was to break into Sunny's apartment, subdue her, and transport her to a secluded location, where they could hold her until she complied with their demands. On the evening of November 6, 1996, Jeen, Bryant, and Sayarath set their plan into motion. They arrived at Sunny's Irvine apartment around 8 p.m., a time Jeen knew Sunny would be home alone. Using a duplicate key Jeen had acquired, They quietly entered the building and made their way to Sunny's door. Their hearts pounded with anticipation as they prepared to execute the final steps of their plan. Once inside, they quickly overpowered Sunny, using the stun gun to incapacitate her. They then bound her with duct tape and handcuffs, gagging her to prevent her from screaming. However, the plan began to unravel almost immediately, as they dragged Sunny towards their vehicle. A vigilant neighbor noticed the commotion and sensed something was wrong. The neighbor's suspicion was aroused by the unusual activity and the distressed look on Sunny's face. Acting quickly, the neighbor called 911, reporting a possible kidnapping in progress. This unexpected intervention set off a chain of events that would ultimately thwart Jeen's meticulously planned scheme. The police responded swiftly to the 911 call, mobilizing officers to the scene. Meanwhile, Jeen, Bryant and Sayarath, unaware that their actions had been reported, continued with their plan. They transported Sunny to a rented motel room on the outskirts of the city, chosen for its isolation and low likelihood of attracting attention. They believed they were in the clear and began discussing their next steps, confident that they had control of the situation. Back at Sunny's apartment complex, police officers were gathering information from the neighbor and other potential witnesses. The description of the suspects and the vehicle used in the abduction provided crucial leads. The police quickly identified the vehicle and tracked it to the motel. Officers arrived at the motel and conducted a careful search of the premises, focusing on the rooms that matched the description given by the witnesses. The breakthrough came when a motel employee, who had noticed the suspicious behavior of Jeen and her accomplices, tipped off the police to the specific room they were occupying. The officers approached the room with caution, aware that the suspects might be armed and dangerous. With a coordinated effort, they positioned themselves for a swift entry, ready to apprehend the kidnappers and rescue Sunny. The moment the police burst into the motel room, chaos ensued. Jeen, Bryant and Sayarath were caught off guard, unable to react in time to resist arrest. The officers quickly subdued them and freed Sunny from her restraints. Sunny, though shaken and traumatized, was relieved to be safe. The swift and decisive action of the police had prevented what could have been a prolonged and potentially more dangerous ordeal. Following their arrest, Jeen, Bryant and Sayarath were taken into custody and charged with multiple offenses, including kidnapping, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, and assault with a deadly weapon. The legal proceedings that followed were closely watched by the media and the public, captivated by the dramatic and sensational nature of the case. The prosecution presented a strong case, emphasizing the premeditated nature of the crime and the detailed planning that had gone into its execution. During the trial, the prosecution laid out the timeline of events, from the initial planning stages to the attempted execution of the kidnapping. They presented evidence including surveillance footage, the tools used in the abduction, and the testimony of the neighbor who had called the police. Sunny's testimony was particularly powerful, providing a first-hand account of the terror she experienced and the betrayal she felt from her sister. The defense, on the other hand, attempted to paint a different picture. They argued that Jeen's actions were driven by financial desperation and a lifetime of feeling overshadowed by her sister. They highlighted the pressures Jeen faced growing up in a strict, high-expectation household and the psychological toll it took on her. The defense also tried to downplay the roles of Bryant and Sayarath, suggesting that they were misled by Jeen and were not fully aware of the seriousness of the crime. The jury, after deliberating for several days, found Jeen Han guilty of all charges. The evidence presented by the prosecution combined with Sunny's compelling testimony, left little room for doubt regarding Jeen's culpability. Bryant and Sayarath were also found guilty of their respective roles in the kidnapping. The verdict was a significant blow to Jeen, who had hoped that her defense would mitigate some of the charges. During the sentencing phase, the court considered the severity of the crime and the impact it had on Sunny and the community. The prosecution argued for a harsh sentence, emphasizing the need for justice and deterrence. They highlighted the premeditated nature of the crime and the psychological trauma inflicted on Sunny. The defense, meanwhile, pleaded for leniency, particularly for Jeen, citing her lack of a prior criminal record and the difficult circumstances of her upbringing. The judge ultimately sentenced Jeen Han to 14 years in prison for her role in the kidnapping and related charges. The judge acknowledged the pressures and psychological issues Jeen faced, but concluded that the severity of the crime warranted a substantial period of incarceration. Jeen Han was sentenced to 14 years in prison in 1997, and with possible parole and time served, she was released in 2008. Bryant received an 11-year sentence, while Sayarath was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Both men were also ordered to participate in rehabilitation programs and counseling, reflecting the court's recognition of the need for reform and reintegration into society. Both served their respective terms and were released in the late 2000s. Their releases have allowed them to reintegrate into society, albeit with the lasting impacts of their involvement in the crime. The impact of the case on the Han family was profound. The trial and its aftermath brought to light the deep-seated issues and tensions within the family, exacerbating the estrangement between Jeen and Sunny, the parents who had always hoped for their daughters to support and uplift each other were devastated by the events. The case also had a significant impact on the Korean American community, highlighting the pressures faced by immigrant families and the potential consequences of unaddressed emotional and psychological issues. The Han family, like many immigrant families, faced immense pressure to succeed and maintain a respectable image within their community. This pressure often translated into high expectations for academic and professional achievements, which could strain familial relationships. The case of Jeen and Sunny Han served as a stark reminder of the importance of addressing underlying emotional conflicts and seeking healthy resolutions to family disputes. In the broader context, the case underscored the need for greater awareness and support for mental health issues within the Korean American community. The intense pressure to succeed, coupled with cultural stigmas surrounding mental health, can lead to significant psychological distress. The Han case highlighted the potential consequences of ignoring these issues and the importance of providing accessible mental health resources and support systems. As Jeen Han began her prison sentence, she had ample time to reflect on her actions and the events that led to her incarceration. The years behind bars offered an opportunity for introspection and rehabilitation, with the hope that she might come to terms with her actions and seek redemption. The prison environment, though harsh, provided resources for counseling and psychological support, which Jeen could utilize to address the deep-seated issues that had driven her to such desperate measures. Billy Bryant and John Sayarath also faced their own paths to redemption. Their involvement in the crime had not only legal but also personal repercussions, as they grappled with the choices they had made and the impact on their futures. The rehabilitation programs they were ordered to participate in aimed to provide them with the tools needed to reintegrate into society and avoid future criminal behavior. For Sunny Han, the aftermath of the kidnapping was a period of healing and recovery. The trauma of the experience and the betrayal by her sister left deep emotional scars. With the support of her family, friends, and professional counselors, Sunny worked to rebuild her life and move forward. The case, though deeply painful, also served as a catalyst for increased awareness and dialogue about mental health and family dynamics within the Korean American community. The story of Jeen and Sunny Han is a poignant example of the complex interplay between familial relationships, cultural expectations, and personal struggles. It highlights the importance of addressing underlying emotional and psychological issues and seeking healthy resolutions to conflicts. The legal proceedings, verdict, and sentencing in this case underscore the justice system's role in not only punishing but also rehabilitating individuals who have committed serious crimes. The Han case serves as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of unchecked resentment and the importance of compassion, understanding, and effective communication within families. It is a story that resonates beyond the confines of the courtroom, offering valuable lessons about the complexities of human emotions and the need for greater support and awareness of mental health issues within communities. As the Han family continues to heal and move forward, their story remains a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the possibility of redemption even in the face of profound adversity. Let's continue the conversation in the comments section. Like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. Till next time, bye.